Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursalina wa khataman nabiyyin Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa man tabi'ahum ila yawmiddin. أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن أحسن الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we gathered again today for the class Iraabul Quran. Today, mashallah, it is the second class. First time we talked about the introduction, why we are learning the Arabic grammar. So, inshallah, today we are starting with Isti'azah. Might be some people will not familiar about this term, but every person is familiar with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. But it is also called Isti'azah. Alhamdulillah, I am very much confident that for every Muslim is familiar with this statement. And also, all Muslims, I think they remember this statement in Arabic language. It is a great blessing. So today, inshallah, we like to talk about Isti'azah. What is the importance of this thing? Sometimes we are keeping many things, but if we are not knowing what is the worth of that thing, we are not properly utilizing. So may Allah give us tawfiq. Today we try to talk on A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. For that which talk we are doing, so may Allah make easy for us. We are getting proper hadayat from that. Ameen summa ameen. So inshallah today the topic is Isti'azah. Isti'azah. In case of the Isti'azah, today we will talk on different subtopics. The first is what is the concept of Isti'azah. After that we will talk about some tajweed rules and then grammatical analysis of that. Then we will talk, there are some different versions are available. Also we will learn when to recite it. And last one is ways to protect from Shaitaan. So inshallah on these subtopics, so when we will talk about the Isti'azah, so inshallah it will be khair, so inshallah it will be help us in our everyday life. The first thing is, basically this program is Iraabul Quran. We have to start ayat by ayat of the Quran. But before the Quran, when we are reciting the Quran, so it is the commandment of Allah Jalla Shanuhu. Allah said in the Surah Nahl, ayat number 98. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ من الشيطان الرجيم. When you recite the Quran, seek refuge in Allah from the cursed Shaitan, Shaitanur Rajim. A cursed, expelled Shaitan, we will get the refuge of Allah. It is the commandment of Allah. So mashallah, so we are reading every day when we are starting the recitation of the Quran. So when we are starting, but when we are, one thing we like to add here, but this A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, it is not the part of the Quran. When we open the Mus'haf, on the Mus'haf, the first is written is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. But it is not part of the Quran, but Allah commanded us when we recite the Quran, so we have to seek refuge of Allah from the Shaitan, Shaitanur Rajim. So now we will talk a little bit, what is the concept of that? When we are reading the Quran, why we are reading this every time? The real concept is that basically we are preparing ourselves for the Quran. Our tongue should be pure, our heart should be pure, so that when we recite the Quran, we are getting the hadayat from the Quran. Hadayat from the Quran. Because the shaitan is basically is the enemy for mankind. Only objective of the shaitan is that people should be misguided. So due to that reason, Allah commanded us that when we open the Mus'haf, when we starting the recitation of the Quran, so first we have to seek refuge in Allah from shaitan. So basically in this, the concept of this, there is a triangle is there. In this whole triangle, there are three things are involved. One is Allah, other is a human being, and one is Shaitan. And when we are reciting this A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, so this triangle is involved there. One is Allah, one is a human being, one is Shaitan. So now we will talk one by one about these factors. First we will talk about Shaitan. In the Surah Fatir, the ayat number 6, Allah told us in the Quran, in the ayat, that Shaitan is your enemy. Allah is telling us, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Inna Shaitana lakum aduvun, fattakhizhu uduwa. Allah is telling us that Shaitan is your enemy. So please, also you have to also understand it as a Shaitan, as a your enemy. So when Allah is giving one information to us, this information is a haq. That Shaitan is your enemy. So in this ayat is only told lakum aduvun. Aduvun means enemy. But there is another ayat, it is Surah Al-Qasas. In Surah Al-Qasas, the ayat number 15 is there. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innahu aduvvum mudillum mubin. It is further clarity is given in this ayat. Aduvvun means enemy. Mudillun Mudillun means who misguides. Who misguides. Who misguides. Mubinun, clearly. And we read one ayat from the Surah Nahl. Allah is telling that whenever you read the Quran, you have to seek refuge in Allah from Shaitanir Rajim. Then this ayat in Fatah, Allah is telling, Inna Shaitana lakum aduvun. That Shaitan is enemy for you. Fattakhizhu uduvwan. Think him enemy. But in the ayat in Surah Qasas, other characteristics are also mentioned. Innahu aduvvum mudillum mubin. Aduvvum means enemy. Mudillum, who misguides. Mubinun, clearly. Yani who is your open enemy. Yani he, Shaitan, is your open enemy. But at the same time, it is about the Shaitan. Shaitan is an open enemy for the human being. Now the other point is that a human being is unable to handle the Shaitan. Okay, human being is very weak. We always dependent to Allah for everything. So there is one ayat in Surah Fatah. Ya ayyuhan nasu antumul fuqara'u ila Allah wallahu huwal ghaniyyul hamid. O mankind, you are always in need you always need Allah. But Wallahu huwal ghaniyyul hamid. Allah is free from any needs and He is praiseworthy. This ayat is basically telling us that a human being is weak. His all needs only filled by Allah. So when Shaitan is the enemy, a human being is the weak, so then we need the help of the Allah. Allah is powerful. Allah is competent. But nobody can grasp how Allah is great. Nobody can imagine. Nobody can think about that. But Allah explained it in the Quran in a very comprehensive way. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is competent on everything which you are visualizing, which you are imagining, which you are understanding. No. Allah told, Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is competent on everything. So now in this situation, in this triangle, the first thing is we have to understand that Shaitan is our open enemy. The objective of the Shaitan is that we should be misguided. And also, in the Quran, Allah mentioned how the strategy Shaitan is doing, different strategy is adopting at different places. But one in Surah Al-Iraab, Allah mentioned how the Shaitan works. ثُمَّ لَا أَعْطِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ. It is mentioned that Shaitan will try to misguide a person. But he is coming min bayni aydihim. He is coming from front. Wa min khalfihim, also coming on the back. Wa an aymanihim, he is attacking from the right. Wa an shama'ilihim, and on your left. It means that Shaitan is attacking from the front side, from the back side, from the right side, from the left side. And so much attacking is going on. But insan is at the same time very weak, so insan cannot handle this situation. When we are unable to handle this situation, then we are asking from Allah, that Allah protect us from the shaitan. It is basically a concept of this Isti'azah. In Isti'azah, it is the concept that first we are asking protection from Allah. We are asking protection of Allah. Who is Allah? Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. He is competent on everything. Very powerful. And the second factor is a human being is weak. Weakness. We are weak. We are unable to handle it. Shaitan is open enemy. Open enemy. So due to that reason, we need the spiritual help. We need spiritual protection. So for that spiritual protection, we are reading this statement. But the point is that when we are reading the A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, either it is only thing we have to read from our tongue, the job is done. No, it is not only a mere statement from the tongue. Basically, it is the condition of your heart. When you read the A'udhu Billah, so your heart should feel something at that time. You have to think, I am starting a very important work, recitation of the Holy Quran. So may Allah protect me from Shaitan. So at this stage, our tongue and our heart should be asking together. If they are not asking together, the real benefits you cannot get it. So basically, when we are starting the Quran, we are getting the spiritual protection from Allah. The spiritual protection is only possible if we are reading this A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim from our tongue, and from our heart we also feel it. Three things. I am very weak, and my enemy is very strong. The protection of Allah is needed to me, who is powerful for everything. So in that, when the whole Quran, A'udhu Billahi, if came in Surah Baqarah, ayat 67, and Minash Shaitanir Rajim, if came in Surah Nahl and Surah Ali Imran. next subtopic is about tajweed, how we can recite it properly. Some rules of the tajweed, we should be familiar about these things. The first thing is, in this case, this harf is here. Waw with sukoon. It is harf-e-mad. It is called harf-e-mad. If any preceding letter have dhamma and on the waw there is a sukoon, then this waw is act as a harf-e-mad. So due to that reason, when we have to read here, a'u, so we have to little bit elongation here, because the wa is here, harf-e-mad is here. The other thing is, when we are reading billahi, so here there is a concept in the reading of the Quran or for the Arabic language, some letters are light and some are heavy. Those are the light letters. Light letters, when we are pronounce the light letters, our mouth expression should be just like a smiling. Yani our mouth expression should be smiling. But heavy letters, full mouth when we pronouncing for that. So in this situation, here is the word Allah, and before Allah is B is there. B. Whenever the word Allah is coming in the Quran, if there is a kafra on the preceding letter, and here is the preceding letter from Allah is B, so due to the kafra, Allah become light, but this lam is become lighter in pronunciation. So normally we say कि harf jalala, कि the lam in the harf jalala become lighter. Billahi, billahi. When I am pronouncing, my mouth is open, just like a smiling. Billahi. It is due to this B, because the B has the kafra on that, so due to that reason, when we are pronouncing it, so it becomes billahi, billahi. But normally when the other area we are pronouncing, innallaha, innallaha, mouth should be heavy at that time. But here in this situation, because the kafra proceeding to that, billahi. After that, the next is minash shaitani. Basically, this word was min. Min. Min is harf jar. But in this situation, when we are combining with this is a shaitan. On the shaitan, the sheen is there. On this sheen, there is a shadda is there. Whenever the shadda is there over the sheen, it means that there are two sheens there. One sheen with sukoon, one sheen with fatha. This word here was min. Min is already with sukoon, and this sheen is with sukoon. So there is a tajweed rule, it is called ijtama' faqnain. Ijtama' faqnain. Two faqins there. When the two faqins there, two silent words there, you cannot read it. So due to that reason, to make the flow, on the min, so there is fatha is there. Minash shaitani. For that, it should be read. So due to that reason, it is minash shaitani. Ta should be little bit heavier when we are pronouncing, and also there is a ra is here. Whenever on the ra there is a fatha is there on the ra, so it is also become heavy. Heavy means that our mouth should be little bit more full when we are pronouncing it, not just like a smiling face. And the other rule is there, the word is basically regime. There is a kafra on the meme is there. But when we are reading, we are minash shaitanir rajim. When we are making a jim, we are stopping there. So then we are, it is called madde arif waqfi. Arif means temporary. Waqfi means stop. Basically, there is no mad there for elongation. But we are creating mad by stopping air. So at the end, when we are finishing the regime, the little bit elongation is needed there. I will quickly repeat these are all rules. Wa is basically harf mad is here. Harf mad, wa is with sukoon here and the preceding letter with dhamma. So due to that reason, when we are pronouncing this here, the little one harf mad, we have to elongate it. The other thing is billahi. Due to the b, billahi become lighter. Smiling your mouth becomes expression just like a smiling expression. Minash shaitani. So then we are combining it. The noon is lighter here. Minash shaitanir. Nir. When we are pronouncing ra, our mouth should be little bit heavy. Okay, we have to pronounce the ra is little bit heavier way. At the end, rajimi, we are creating the stop there. So there will be a mad there. It is called madde arif waqfi. So also when we have to recite here, is a very easy word in Arabic to pronounce There is no so much effort is required here. But after that, when we are reading a'udhu, we have to, our mouth should be rounded for ain, because on ain there is a dhamma is there. A'udhu. Yani little bit differentiation should be between the alif and between the ain if should be there. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So these are the some tajweed rules, but I will recommend for the proper makharij and proper adaigi, so you can listen from any professional qarif. The qarif are basically giving the more makharij about that. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. After that, the next topic is grammatical analysis. How we can do the grammatical analysis of this statement. When we are doing the grammatical analysis of the ayat of the Quran, the first thing is we should know the whole words which is written in the Quran, they are divided into three categories. One is called ismun, fi'lun, harfun. ismun, fi'lun, harfun. In all words are categorized in this thing. The first is we will divide this whole statement today. What are these words there? First is a'udhu. A'udhu is fail. Fail or verb, we can say. If you don't know the grammar, at least from the translation, when we can say, I seek refuge. When I say I seek refuge, so definitely it is a fail and verb. After that, there is a B is here. B. It is called harf. Harful jar. Harful jar. Allahi. Allah is ism. Min is also harful jar. Harful jar. Then we have to Shaitani ar-Rajimi. I will give you one salient feature of the ism. Whenever you open the Mus'haf, you open the Quran, if you find any word in the Quran which is starting with Alif Lam, or at the end of the letter there is a tanween. Tanween. Any letter which is starting with Alif Lam and ending with tanween, so definitely it is a characteristic sign for the ism. Shaitaan, Alif Lam is there, so we can say it is ism. Ar-Rajim, Alif Lam is there, it is called ism. So in this way, first we will categorize this whole statement today into three parts. A'udhu, fail. B, harf jar. Allah, ism. Min, harf jar. Ash-Shaytani, ism. Ar-Rajimi, ism. Now we will go little bit. All words in Arabic, they have root letters. In Arabic is a very systematic type of the language. Everything is arranged according to the rules there. The first thing is when we say a'udhu, in case of the a'udhu, there is a root word is there. Ain, wa, va. Every verb in Arabic language have the root word. And also this root word has also some wazn for that. Wazn means how we have to pronounce it. Okay, Arabic language, you cannot pronounce any type of the letter which have no haraka on that. How I know now when a, wa, va, what haraka I have to put there? So for that they have categorized. If the noon means nafara yanfuru. When the nafara yanfuru, this group is there, so according to that group, so we can make our verb. And basically, nafara yanfuru. So now we have to fit these words in that pattern. Awaza. Awaza for mazi. Fail mazi, yani for past tense. Ya'zuzu. The ya'zuzu for mudari. But in this verb, there is some different things are there. Normally in the verbs, in Arabic language, there are two types of the fail. One is called regular verb, fail sahih. Other one is called irregular one. Irregular one. So this is irregular one means that some weak letter is here. In Arabic, it is called harf illat. Harf illat means weak letter. A weak letter. This Y is basically a weak letter there. Inside this weak letter is there, to name in the grammar it is called ajwaf. This fail is called ajwaf. In ajwaf, this situation is going on due to wa. Okay, sometime the ya is also a weak letter. Alif is also, there are three weak letters in Arabic. Wa, ya, alif. When these words are coming inside this root letter, then it becomes a weak verb, irregular verb. Irregular verb, some changes develop there. The changes sometimes develop is that there, because Y is definitely weak letter, it cannot survive. Just like in case of the chemistry when we are reading the atoms, until the protons are not complete, it not becomes stable. So just like that in this case, that Y is weak here, it cannot be stable. He needs some stability for that. So then it will be changed. It change become ava. It become ava. The rule is that if the preceding letter has the fatha, Y with harka, and the after next letter is also with harka, then Va is changed with alif. Va cannot bear the pressure of there. So then it becomes ava. Ava. So ava become there. So in this situation, in Mudari, it happened कि Iraab, कि harka of the va, it will be transferred to the preceding letter. Preceding letter become, take the dhamma here, this transfer to here. When it is transferred to here, then va getting the sukoon here. It becomes ya'uzu. Ya'uzu. Because there is a two rules here. One is that this harka will be converted to the ma qabal letter, to the preceding letter. After that, if there is a dhamma, then va can exist here. But if it is a, if for example, if a fatha is there, then it becomes alif. If there is a kasra is there, then it becomes ya. But in this situation, there is no change, because with the dhamma, the vav can be matching there. So finally it becomes aza ya'uzu. Ya'uzu is fi'l mudari here. Fi'l mudari. Yani Ya'uzu means for he. This siga is for he. Then we have to make the gardan from Ya'uzu. When we are making the gardan, then we are getting this siga a'uzu. A'uzu is fi'l mudari and wahid mutakallam. And this siga is basically this information we are getting from this. A'uzu means fi'l mudari, wahid mutakallam. Due to that reason, we are translating here, I seek refuge. Because due to the alif, this siga is showing wahid mutakallim. For example, if there is a na'uzu, na'uzu means we seek refuge. But here is a'uzu. A'uzu fi'l mudari wahid mutakallim. And next is billahi. Billahi is harful jar here. The harf jar is here. Whenever the harf jar is coming, it's the following letter after the B, it become majroor. Majroor means in halat jar. Normally the word is Allah, but due to the B, it become billahi. So this combination is called jaro majroor. Jaro majroor, and it is also called murakkabe jari. Murakkabe jari. Then if minash shaitani. Minash shaitani, min is harful jar. And shaitani is ism. It also become murakkabe jari here. Ash-shaytani, ar-rajimi, it is fifth and mawfoof. It is the mawfoof and fifth. It is mawfoof. Fifth. Shaitan is mawfoof, and it is the characteristic for it. Accursed, expelled. So this, it is murakkabe tawfifi. Murakkabe tawfifi. First one is verb billahi, murakkabe jari, minash shaitan, murakkabe jari, and mawfoof, and fifth murakkabe tawfifi. Harf jar, which the harf jar is used here, if we are talking about the English grammar, the word be is here and min is here. These both words are used as a preposition here. This is used as a preposition. But the difference of their meaning is here. When we say be, the be is basically in whose seek refuging, in whose refuge seeking. In whose refuge seeking. In whose refuge seeking. from whom seeking refuge. In this translation, basically, until we are not familiar about these prepositions, we cannot translate it. A'udhu billahi. I seek billahi. In whose refuge I am seeking? I like the protection of Allah. So this translation with help of the be, in whose refuge seeking. So then is the min, from whom seeking the refuge. I seek refuge of Allah from the accursed Shaitaan. So this is the be and min. In that way, two prepositions are used in this way. And finally, we can say that this jumla, it is called jumla-e failure. Jumla-e failure. Because it is starting from the fail. So in this way, we can say कि أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. In Arabic grammar, it is a jumla-e failure. If you will not understand few things, don't become disheartened. So inshallah, day by day, if you continue your effort, so you will learning day by day. Day by day, your knowledge will be piled up. Okay, now we already checked the concept. Then we a little bit talk about the tajweed today. And then is the grammatical analysis. After that, the next is the versions. Okay, normally when we are talking about the refuge to Shaitan, most of the people are familiar with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. But in addition to that, there are some other versions are also available in the books of the hadith. One is, here is only A'udhu billahi, but there is an other rawayat is, in that there is an addition here. A'udhu billahi sami'il alimi minash shaitanir rajim. You have definitely listened from imams, from scholars, when they are giving the khutbah, when they are talking, sometimes they say, A'udhu billahi sami'il alimi minash shaitanir rajim. And here, after billah, there is a word is sami'il alimi. Here we say, we ask refuge from Allah, but here we are putting the sifat of Allah. Who is Allah? Who is Sami? Who is Alim? There is an other version. It is in the Sunan Abi Dawud Hadith 775. A'udhu billahi sami'il alimi minash shaitanir rajimi min hamzihi wa nafthihi wa nafsihi. Yani in this whole rawayat, the sifat of Allah is mentioned first. After that, the tactics of the shaitan is also included there. We seek refuge from Shaitaan Rajim, min hamzihi. Hamzihi means evil promptings. Evil promptings, instigation, which instigation he is doing, we like to protect from that. وَنَفْسِهِ. Nafsihi means evil thoughts. وَنَفْخِهِ, blowing, puffing by the shaitan. يعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من حمزه ونفخه ونفسه. We also want the protection from the tactics of the shaitan. Which tactics is? Evil promptings, evil thoughts, blowing, puffing, all these things. Also there is another version is available. When we enter to the mosque, we say, Allahumma aftah li abwaaba rahmatik. But in addition to that, there is a rawayat is there, that when you are entering the mosque is a very sacred place. It is the house of the Allah. So when you enter to the mosque, first you get refuge of Allah from Shaitan, so that when you in the mosque, your time is not wasted there. So this is also another أعوذ بالله العظيم وبوجه الكريم وسلطانه القديم من الشيطان الرجيم. In this, when we are entering to the mosque, so we have to say Billahi al-Azimi wa bi wajhi al-Karimi wa sultanihi al-Qadimi min ash-shaytani ar-Rajim. Basically, we are mentioning the sifat of Allah. Billahi al-Azimi, Almighty Allah. وَبِوَجْهِ الْكَرِيمِ, His noble face. وَسُلْطَانِهِ الْقَدِيمِ, eternal kingdom. After that we say, مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So inshallah, if we read these things, so when we go to the mosque, enter in the mosque, so inshallah our time will be properly utilized. Also there is another if. Allahumma ahfimni minash shaytanir rajim. When you come out of the mosque, in the mosque it is a sacred place, good environment. So when you coming for the worldly affairs outside, again you have to need the protection from the shaitan. At time also we have to say, Allahumma ahfimni minash shaytanir rajim. We Allah, now your house is sacred. We are very blessed there. So now I am coming out. I am very weak. I need protection. So we have to say, Allahumma ahfimni. Allah, protect me from shaitanir rajim. So in that way, we talked little bit about different versions. Which are the different versions are used for when we are seeking the refuge from the shaitan. Now we can go to the next part. Next part is when to recite. when we have to recite the Isti'azah, when to recite, I will give you some points that when we have to recite, that one is, everybody is familiar about that, prior to recite the Holy Quran, just like it is the commandment of Allah, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. Prior to recite the Holy Quran. The second place is while entering the mosque. While entering the mosque. أعوذ بالله العظيم وبوجهه الكريم وسلطانه القديم من الشيطان الرجيم. Third one is while leaving the mosque. While leaving the mosque, Allahumma ahfimni min ash-shaytanir rajim. The fourth one is at start of prayer. When we read in the Salat, Surah Fatiha, so before the Surah Fatiha, so we are reading أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And the fifth one is when we are angry. When a person is in anger, it is recommended that he have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. In his anger, he cannot do anything unusual thing. Okay, he is not in control at that time. So what is recommended? We have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Entering the restroom. Restroom or toilet. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubthi wal-khaba'ith. So it is also at that time we are getting the refuge. When scared, any situation happen, the person becomes scared. So that situation is also we have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. When going to a new place, whenever dark, anything is there, new place, you have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. If you have seen any bad dream, after the bad dream, when you awake after the bad dream, you have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. In awakening, after bad dream. These things we have to say at that time. And also that when a donkey we listen when the donkey brays or dog barks. When the donkey brays or the dog barks, at that time we have to say. Number 10. And number 11. The number 11 is when inclined to do evil. When inclined to do evil. When any wasawis are coming in your mind or anything is, when you are inclined to do some evil. It is also commandment in the Quran in Surah Iraab. Allah saying here, وَإِمَّا يَنْفَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَفْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. When you are feeling some promptings, some inclination from the shaitan, so فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Ask the protection of Allah. Most of the time when you are inclined to do the evil, it is basically the result of the shaitan's work on you. So Allah is saying in the Quran, وَإِمَّا يَنْفَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَفْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. Allah Sami and Alim. I mentioned here these are the 11 things. First is prior to recite the Holy Quran, while entering the mosque, while leaving mosque, at start of the prayer, when angry, entering the restroom or the toilet, when scared, when going to a new place, awakening after the bad dream, when donkey brays or dog barks, when inclined to do the evil. And when any person is inclined to do any bad thing due to that reason. But the last one I like to write here also, the last event which we can say, ask refuge all time. Ask refuge of Allah all time. All times. Okay, we are weak. Our enemy is always attacking to us. So we need the protection of Allah. Ask refuge of Allah at all times. Without any specific reason. We can do all time, we can do it. These are the little bit information. When, mashallah, every Muslim is familiar about this statement, but we are talking about the statement where we have to utilize it. Okay. Okay, we already know when this situation will happen, so we have to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We already talked 12 and 13 occasions which we have to do. But at the same time, in addition to that, we need something more. Ways to protect from shaitan. Ways to protect from shaitan. first thing, Allah mentioned this ayat in the Quran. Inna kayda shaytana kana dha'ifa. It will furut nifa. Generally the planning of the shaitan is weak. It is a good thing Allah encouraging us. Shaitan's plot, shaitan's efforts are weak. Inna kayda shaytana kana dha'ifa. Allah is more powerful. From his weak efforts, you will be protected. But after that, the next thing is how we can get it. The first thing is we have to develop. We have to develop ikhlas. Ikhlas or sincerity. How we can make mukhlis, sincere. Sincere means our all type of the actions are only to please Allah. So how we can develop, we can come under the category of mukhlasin, which are sincere people. So for that, the scholars explaining, we have to make a relation with Allah. How we can make it? We have to do salah. We have to make zikr. We have to make Quran. All these things we have to do, but try to do these things in loneliness. When we are doing these things in loneliness, so we are feeling more relation with Allah. So then we are developing a stage, it is called ikhlas. We are getting the ikhlas in that situation. Also Allah mentioned this ayat in the Quran. Shaitan is telling, Kala fabi izzatika. Shaitan is saying from Allah, by your mighty, la aghwiyannahum ajma'in. Ajma'in means all. I will misguide every person. Allah, first he says, Shaitan says, Kala fabi izzatika. By mighty of you, I will try to misguide. Surely, it is also there is a taqeed is here. Surely I will misguide. But after that, illa ibadaka minhumul mukhlisin. Those people, except those people which are mukhlis, which have the ikhlas there. So if we have to develop the ikhlas, so inshallah, we will be protected from the shaitan. The first thing we have to do, we have to develop the ikhlas and develop the sincerity for that. The other thing is, second thing which we need for that is excessive. We need the excessive remembrance of Allah. Excessive remembrance of Allah. And also to ask Isti'azah. Also ask Isti'azah. We have to do excessive remembrance of Allah and also ask Isti'azah. We already talked about the 13 things. We will do these things again and again and again and again. So in that way, it will also help us for that. Okay, there is an ayat in the Quran. إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَهُ سُلْطَانٌ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. Basically, the shaitan has no authority. No authority if the people have two qualities. One quality, alallavina amanu, those people have iman. وَعَلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ, they have trust on Allah. And basically, the first point is to develop sincerity, ikhlas for Allah. And the second point is by making the zikr, by seeking the refuge, we have to do tawakkal on Allah. If we are getting tawakkal on Allah, these two things will help us if we can get the protected from the shaitan in that way. Okay, it is mentioned here in the Quran, إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ عَلَى سُلْطَانٌ عَلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. Those people which have the iman and those people which have the tawakkal on Allah, so they have nobody, shaitan have no authority on them. Also in the same time, remembrance of Allah, and also to ask Isti'azah. So this is the ayat is also coming when you are feeling the wasawis from prompting from the shaitan, then you have to ask the refuge. And basically 2 points we got. One is ikhlas, one is tawakkal on Allah. If two things we are doing, we will be protected from the shaitan. Now I can give one example of the hadith there. One hadith, the nearest meaning is that if a person, when he enters his home, in the home, if he make zikr of the Allah at the time of entrance, and also when that person will eat something at home, so he will recite name of Allah. Shaitan immediately told to their companions, in this house we have nothing. Shaitan is saying here in that situation, La mabita, La mabita lakum, La mabita lakum wala asha'a. La mabita lakum wala isha'a. There is no place. There is no place to sleep for you. For you and no food. It is the benefit of that. When a person enters his home, he make zikr of Allah, and also when he started the food, if he make the name of Allah at that time, the shaitan immediately told to his companions, La mabita lakum wala asha'a. There is no place to sleep for you and no food here. So you can think what is the benefit of the zikr which we are doing. For example, if a person, this hadith is also telling, if that person will not making any zikr when he is entering to the house, then the shaitan say, adraktumul mabita. You have found a place. You have found a place to sleep. And a person entered in his house. He didn't making any zikr at that time. So Shaitaan is telling to companion, you have found a place to sleep tonight here. If that person will also, when he's starting food, he is not saying the Bismillah there. There is another statement is, you have found a place to sleep and also for food. Also for food. So brothers, we have to think, brothers and sisters, we have to think now, these are the, sometimes we don't bother about these things. When we are entering in our house, we are not making the zikr. When we starting the food, we are not making the zikr. But how much change has happened? If any shaitan will eat with you, if the shaitan will live with you in the night, so what will be happen at home? If the shaitan is not there, how will you protected for there? Okay, both these things, ikhlas and tawakkal ala Allah. These things are developing with that. And third factor is also needed here. We can maximum getting the protection of the shaitan. The third is to stick. To stick with good company. With company, with good Muslims. If you are attached with company, your company is good. MashaAllah, if you attach with the mosque, with the good people are doing, it will help also to protect with you. Okay, shaitan is, there is a hadith, the nearest meaning is that shaitan is like wolf. Is like wolf to man. To mankind. His action is just like wolf. Just like in the wolf, an example is given, if a sheep, is isolated sheep, if a sheep is isolated, wolf can attack it. But if the sheep is in the flock, it will be more protection is there. So just like that, human being is very weak. They also need protection. So if you are attached to the mosque, you have the good company, so in that way it is also a protection. If these three things, ikhlas, tawakkal ala Allah, and also we are attaching with the community, unity we are showing, so in that way we are more protected. These are the few topics which we talked today, but at the end we will like to some take home message, because this A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, it is so powerful kalma, powerful statements. We have to getting maximum benefit from here. Next is the take home message. We will give you two take home message today. The first thing is that we have to think that Isti'azah. Isti'azah is a weapon. It is a tool. It is an instrument. It is an instrument to get the protection of Allah from Shaitaan Mardud, Shaitaan Rajim. It is a great weapon for us. Why that? So we can get the protection of Allah. Allah basically used two terms in the Quran. One term is called Hizbullahi. Hizbullahi. Other term is Hizbu Shaitan. Hizbu Shaitan. Hizb means party, Allah's party. Shaitan, Shaitan's party. Allah very much defining these two terms, Hizbullahi, Hizbu Shaitan, in the last ayat of Surah Mujadila. Surah Mujadila is 58 surah. In the last ayat Allah mentioned here, कि Hizbu Shaitan will be the loser. Hizbullah is successful. Hizbullah is successful. When Allah is saying कि Hizbullah successful, successful. When Hizbu Shaitan is loser, it is loser. So now, how we can avoid this party, this group, and join this group? What is the weapon with us? This is the weapon. Isti'azah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. When we read this wording, Isti'azah, our heart should feel something. Heart and tongue should be on the same thing so that we can give the maximum benefit. It is the one take-home message. I am giving the other message now. The second message is basically our day-to-day life. Every person in the life has three things. Past. Past means which days already passed in my life. And it is my life. My life has three things. One is past. One is present. One is future. Which past is done, time is already done, you can't do anything now which you done. But one thing we can perform it, one we can make it, istighfar. Istighfar means to seek forgiveness from Allah. From Allah. If a person has did bad things, or we have to do some things, but we are not knowing it is acceptable, not acceptable. For the past, we have good thing, istighfar. We have to do always ask forgiveness. In that way, my past will be better. The other thing is present. In the present, two things if we do. One thing is gratitude of Allah. Gratitude to Allah. Shukr. We have to shukr and we have to obey Allah. We have to obey Allah. What are shukr always giving? Other thing is patience. Patience means sabr. If do two things in your present life will be good. Shukr of Allah, and if any situation will happen, you have to make the patience there. But for the future we have to make Isti'azah. Isti'azah means I want protection from Shaitaan. Which thing I have to perform tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I need help of Allah. So you need all these things which I talked about before Quran. You're doing future work. You're reciting Quran. Entering the masjid for future. Coming out of the mosque, future. Going to the restroom or the toilet, it is only for future. When you are angry, you protecting from what you do bad, future. The general thing, if we can summarize this thing, your past can be improved by istighfar. Your present is improved by shukr of Allah and by patience. And your future will be improved by isti'azah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So in that way, inshallah, Allah will give us blessings which we talk today. Allah will give us the real understanding of that, so that we will be successful in this world and also in the hereafter. Ameen. Summa ameen. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.